r/AskReddit. To those that live in Italy, how is the situation right now with coronavirus and lockdown? Subscribe, and White Dog will give you good luck for the next 16 minutes. I'm a nurse student in Italy. Right now I can't go to the university, I can't go to work, we shouldn't go out unless it's a necessity, so basically we need to stay home and finally finish our Netflix list. It may sound pretty cool for the first few days, but after a while it gets pretty depressing and boring. I got so bored that I cleaned everything at home. Sounds familiar to me. I'm in China and I've been stuck in my apartment for nearly 2 months. I can get food delivered and go to the convenience store to buy other things, but nearly everything is closed other than supermarkets and pharmacies. It was, as you said, pretty cool for the first few days. Now it's just terrible, although it is slowly getting better again. I hope things get better for you and the rest of Italy soon, but I'm afraid this is probably just the beginning. Currently watching a university lesson from my bed, but my father went to work this morning. I'm in a region where the lockdown started officially today, so it's all pretty new. Let's hope people don't storm the grocery stores. I'm in Madrid and last night they announced school closures. Within an hour, there was already a run on grocery stores. At 9:15 this morning, 15 minutes after they opened, mine was completely packed. I have a daughter living in Saronno, but she works in Milano. She is housebound, on lockdown. Her courses are being done via Skype. Her employer has asked her not to come to work. She is not allowed to leave her house unless it is an emergency, which I hope never happens. She says there has been quite a bit of panic buying at the supermarkets. All the restaurants are pretty much empty, however they are allowed to be open between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. People who are seated should have at least a 1-meter distance between them at restaurants. Tourist areas, e.g. Duomo and Milano, are devoid of almost anybody. All school and universities remain closed, all sporting or any kind of events have been suspended, ski resorts are closed, the same for cinemas, theaters, discos, all church services have been suspended. Whilst the measures may seem extreme, Italy has been the hardest hit worldwide besides for China, so it's necessary to curb travel and cultural activities to stop the spread of the virus. Keeping restaurants open during such an extreme lockdown is wonderfully Italian. For a couch potato like me, it's awesome. I can watch my uni lessons online, and in my free time play a fuck ton of video games or work out a little bit. Also I think we're allowed to leave and get some fresh air. So except for the deadly virus thing, everything is okay. I live in Hong Kong so we had protests and the virus back to back. My university has been closed since mid-November. Sounds like hell to some people but I'm really enjoying it. Is the protest over? People are still protesting but it's way smaller than it was back in November. I haven't really heard anything about major protests for a while, just saw some posts in r/Hong Kong. But if the virus wasn't there, everybody would probably just be getting back to daily life, as opposed to a few months ago when universities closed. Some train stations were closed every day, and we had to be aware of where protests were at night to avoid those areas. Since yesterday night, every town is locked down. I cannot move 5 kilometers without a proper reason, work, or a relative very sick and so on, otherwise I could get arrested. The government, immediately backed up by lots of celebrities, is basically saying please, stay home, our emergency departments in the hospitals are collapsing. Literally, chemos or surgeries that are not urgent are being delayed. How's a chemo not urgent? Bars and restaurants can only open from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It's been over a month that places where big number of people could meet have been closed, discos, sports centers, clubs, schools and universities. It's crazy. How do people get groceries? That is a proper reason you are allowed to go out for. But still, not outside your town. Keep in mind that our cities are different than yours. We can easily get whatever we want, fish, meat, groceries etc., on foot from local shops. There's no need to drive miles to get to a supermarket. Here in America, people are crazy. They go wild and buy everything up. Does that happen in the shops you are talking about? Not OP, but the same thing is happening in Germany. I live just outside of Stuttgart, and every local shop is out of water, toilet paper and oil. People are fucking idiots. The same is in my home country Croatia. I live in Verona. I'm a 19 years old living alone, because my mother and my father took it in Milan, and for the first time, I'm home alone for a month. Pretty nice though. I play GTA 5 with my friends like the old days, doing some indoor workout and experimenting with cooking. I'm becoming a good chef. The school is quite annoying but it's okay. I wake up at 7:30, and at 8 a.m., I start a 5 hours straight in front of my laptop for online lessons, and then I go cooking my lunch. I don't go out if not to buy some food and maybe some cigarettes because the situation it's not good. There is no space left in the intensive therapy, so if I get really sick, they would have to remove someone to save me since I would have better chance of surviving. This is why I almost never go out, once a week. I don't want to be the reason for someone's death. I'm Italian but live abroad. Currently my brother is in one of the high-risk zone in the north. He works at the university as a researcher. Today he went to work and the laboratory was empty. Starting from tomorrow, the uni told him to stay at home, and that the structure will be temporarily closed. He was planning an exchange with the laboratory in Ireland for April, but I think it's cancelled. He's worried of course and a bit bored too, but he understands that the situation is critical, and that we have to give our contribution to avoid the spreading. My cousin is in Bologna, where the situation is surreal. According to him, no one is on the streets, and the supermarket got assaulted multiple times from people concerned that they would have run out of food, which is not going to happen since supplies are guaranteed. My parents live in a small city in the south, where only 4 cases were registered in the entire region so far, so they are not much concerned, but they are taking precautions if the situation will get worse, and they are trying to stay at home when possible. Luckily their jobs are not at risk, because my mother works in public administration and my father can work on remote. I live in Germany instead. Yesterday I went to a pharmacy and I could get a couple of face masks just in case the ladies there understood from my accent that I wasn't German, so they asked me where I was coming from. As soon as I said I was Italian they jumped away. I felt like I needed to specify that I was living here and had no contact with Italy since December. That felt bad. Well, now you know what it's like to be Asian. People just freaking out when they see someone Asian. You are right. Personally I have never acted racist towards Asians when the spreading started, but many Italians did it. There was a viral video, showing a guy from Philippines in a supermarket, getting punched by an Italian who was convinced he was Chinese. I think we deserve this after all. Hope Italians will learn a lesson. If you're a good citizen and you don't have a job it's hard to tell. For example, I only poke my nose out of the house to go to the grocery store, and I can tell you there is no big problem there. Sometimes there are empty shelves, but it's not something surreal. Though if you look at the streets, there are so few people, some wearing masks, with no social interaction. It's weird. And the fact you don't have to go to school or university, and you can't even move out normally, makes this whole thing feel weird as fuck. It's like time has stopped. I'm in the Air Force stationed in Pisa. I was thinking my drive to work this morning would be quiet after the lockdown. Nope, cars on the roads like normal, and saw flights taking off from the airport. Not sure how people are flying, unless it's within the country. Currently waiting on word on how the military will go forward with the new decree. It's pretty shit actually. I'm a sophomore and I feel like it will be really hard to catch up, because we will have barely a month of actual school left. Moreover, the lockdown is causing severe economical issues, especially to those who own small businesses such as restaurants, clothing stores etc. A lot of these activities will go bankrupt, because they have close to no customers. However, I think the only thing we can do is contain the infection, so the lockdown is necessary. South Italy here, I'm waiting for the virus to spread as in northern Italy, if not worse. A lot of idiots rushed south to their mommy after the government declared the region of Lombardia red zone, and here the people seems to not understand the situation. Yesterday morning, there were a lot of people strolling around not caring about what's happening. Yesterday night the Prime Minister declared all of Italy red zone, and a lot of people rushed to 24/7 stores to buy food. I decided to stay at home for at least a week, but my parents, and the parents of my friends are going around the city like it's not their problem. There will be another infection peak here in the southern Italy in a few days. Right now I'm in my office in Tuscany, 20 miles away from my home. This morning at 7 a.m. we hadn't any problem moving around, but I don't know how things will evolve outside my workplace. There are a lot of different informations about what you can and what you can't do from all the media, so I'm here hoping to not getting sick, and still be capable at least to move to home tonight, and maybe came back to work in the next days. Some say life goes on like always, others say everything is compromised. I'm just here, waiting for things to develop. I have friends in northern Italy quarantined in their homes, my mum in hospital working with face masks and generally people freaking out. They say grocery shopping will be guaranteed, so overall I'm not even worried about it. Maybe is the chance to have some days off and enjoy my home and some games. Thanks for watching. Subscribe below for more daily content.